best 2 hours of Elvis.
Blue Suede Connection.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're doing the American Sound Sessions today. You're hearing mostly different versions, alternate versions of these great songs that were recorded there in Memphis, Tennessee in 1969.
Right.
Now, there's one particular song he did in these sessions. To say it's probably his most popular song, wouldn't you think?
Oh, it gets played a lot still to this day.
It gets played a lot. We play a lot. We get requests for it a lot. Now, if you don't know what it is, don't tell the person beside you. Or if you do know what it is, don't tell them. If you don't know, well, you're going to find out in a few minutes. And TL's going to give you a little history behind that song. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the year 1969. What was Elvis watching on TV in 1969? We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Probably.
Yeah. World events and things that changed the world, big major events. We're going to talk about that, but mostly it's going to be all about music and Elvis Presley.
Nice.
Now, the Memphis Boys were the backup band, and they aren't just a band, they're amazing musicians, and they were so excited to work with Elvis, and they have so many different stories to share and what it was like to work with him. And right now you're going to hear from Reggie Young, he's the guitar player, and also you're going to hear from the drummer, Gene Christman. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, well, there were some people worked at American in the studio that were his, what they call it, Memphis Mafia, I guess.
Yeah.
And the studio manager was Marty Lacker, who was a good friend of Elvis. George Klein, who was disc jockey, was a good friend of Elvis. And I mean, these were close friends. And Red West was a writer at the studio. And Elvis had booked a week or two out in L.A. with some musicians out there, and anyway, the drummer, Hal Blaine, had gotten sick, and so he was going to have to cancel, and I think it was Marty Lacker said, well, instead of canceling a week, why don't you go to American? Said they're having pretty good success down there, cutting records, and said, gosh, he hadn't been to Memphis in years, you know. He hadn't had a hit in 7 years.
Something that's extra special about the music on this show today is this is not overdubbed. There's not all kinds of strings. There's not a bunch of backup singers. It's Elvis and the musician.
Yeah, though, I'm kind of hearing it, like, in the back of my mind. Are you?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, like, whenever there's a spot that you know that the backup singers are there, I can hear it in my mind.
Yeah, you're used to that, and it's probably better in the end. But today is kind of just
better. Yeah,
but today's just kind of feeling Elvis and the band. You know?
Oh yeah.
That's what it's all about here today. Having a good time in there, though. That's what Elvis liked to do in the studio, and I think that shows in all the music we play here on the show. You know, this all happened in 1969 there in Memphis, Tennessee, and a lot of things were going on pop culture-wise at that time. In 1969, Scooby-Doo airs its first episode on CBS.
Aww.
Monty Python also premieres on the BBC One.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Sesame Street also premieres on PBS. Hee Haw premieres on CBS.
Yes.
Led Zeppelin releases their first album in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Chemical Bank installs the first teller machine in Rockville Center, New York.
Nice.
Wendy's Hamburgers was founded by Dave Thomas in Columbus, Ohio in 1969.
Very nice.
And what else do we have here? Soft drink Capri Sun goes on sale for the first time in 1969.
Jeez.
Very important events in American pop culture. We opened up with a big rockin' song like Rubberneckin', then a powerhouse rocker like Power My Love. This is the story of True Love Travels on Gravel Road. All these different styles of music you just heard, and that was country all the way right there.
Oh yeah, big time.
It just shows the versatility of Elvis and those guys playing in the band. Several songs from these recording sessions, you know, they were actually used on film and television.
Yeah.
If you ever see the 1983 film Breathless, well, I think Suspicious Minds was in that. In 1992, Honeymoon in Vegas songs from this movie were featured.
Ah, really?
In Frequency, the 2000 movie, that was Elvis was in that with some of the songs from this. Black Hawk Down, a great movie that's got Elvis in it and songs from this session. Lilo and Stitch. From 2002. Blade Runner from 2017. There's Elvis in that.
Okay.
Songs from these sessions. And a TV series called Dark from 2019. And a TV series, Love Island. So you might want to check some of those out, and you hear some of these tunes right there on those TV shows and movies.
There you go.
Elvis is everywhere, somebody once said. What do you think?
I think they're right.
Suspicious Minds, looking back, it turned out to be the biggest record that was ever recorded in Memphis. 40 million copies.
There you go. 40 million copies of Suspicious Minds.
Wow,
when
yeah.
it came out back in the day. Now, that was Reggie Young talking about it, but you got a little story behind the song you're going to share with us.
So Suspicious Minds was written by Mark James in 1968, and the song is about a misunderstanding and dysfunctional relationship and the need for the characters to overcome their issues in order to maintain the relationship. The story goes that Chip Moman had asked James to come to Memphis and write a song for American Sound. At the time, James had already written like 3 hit songs and had a really great reputation in the industry. So Chip wanted him to do some magic for sound. James said that the idea came to him late one night, and he was fooling around with his Fender guitar, and he was using his organ pedal for a bass line, and the melody just came up to him, and he just thought it was catchy. And at the time, James was married to his first wife, but he still had strong feelings for his childhood sweetheart. So there was some suspicion, I guess, from his wife's end that there were feelings there, and that's where the idea from the song kicked off on James's end.
Wow.
Then it was rumored to James that Elvis had booked some studio time in Sounds, and some people were suggesting that Elvis was looking for some new music. So of course, I'm sure Chips had his hand in making sure that Elvis saw the demo or heard the demo. And the very first thing Elvis said when they played it to him was, "I like it, play it again."
TL, what were you watching in 1969 on television?
Oh my gosh, what would I have been watching? Well, considering I was only 2, probably nothing.
Nothing. Okay, well, I know 2 of these shows Elvis was watching.
Okay.
Definitely 2 of these. The most popular TV shows of 1969, coming at number 10 was The Doris Day Show.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
9, The Wonderful World of Disney on ABC. Number 8, Marcus Welby, MD.
Nice.
Number 7, The Red Skelton Show. Number 3, Here's Lucy.
Oh, love that.
Number 5, Buffy and Jody and the Family Affair.
Love that too.
Number 4, Mayberry RFD. Number 3, I know he watched because he was friends with Lauren Green and the guy that played Hoss, Bonanza on NBC.
Wow.
Number 2, Gunsmoke. And I know Elvis always had that little fantasy of being that guy riding a bicycle on the Laugh-In and falling over and saying, "Sock it to me."
Yeah.
On the Laugh-In on NBC there in 1969. Lots of folks tell me they like to escape to Mayberry once in a while. Well, we Mayberryans like to escape the Blue Suede Connection. That's where we like to rock and roll. All right, the year's 1969. We're sharing different things that went on that year, and there were 2 major events that were world-changing events. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about yet or not. Have you peeked?
No, I have not peeked.
All right. One of those, of course, was the internet. It was created in 1969. That definitely changed the world.
Really? The internet?
Yes.
Huh. I didn't
First
know it was
internet
that
was
old.
created, yep.
Huh.
And another world-changing event was the man landing on the moon.
Yeah, now there you go.
2 very big world-changing events in 1969, and Mr. Presley was there probably watching on his TV thinking, wow, man.
You know he was watching. Yeah.
The top song of 1969 was Aquarius, Let the Sunshine In. The top movie in 1969 was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The most famous person in the U.S. at that time, other than Elvis Presley, was a TV actor named Steve McQueen.
Oh, okay.
The hot-selling book in 1969, do you know what that was? It was
69.
It was a big movie.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
The Godfather.
Oh, shoot.
You were close. Biggest game going on at the time was Hasbro's Light Bright. Everybody wanted a Light Bright.
I remember those.
And everybody wanted to taste those brand new frozen sensations from Wendy's called a Frosty.
Yeah.
The funny late night host of the time in 1969 was Hi-Oh Johnny. The funny guy at the time was Don Rickles. The funny lady in those days in 1969 was Phyllis Diller. And the crazy conspiracy that the moon landing was a fake.
Ah.
People thought
There's always got to be a conspiracy
there's
theory.
always that conspirator out there that thinks it's not real. Hey TL, I think Elvis fans are starting to catch on to Blue Suede Connection.
What's not to love, Daniel? 2 hours of great Elvis music, lots of fun. It's our own private party.
And we want everybody to be part of the party. Hear all the hits, rare cuts, and lots of surprises too.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And hit that notification bell.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.